Hey guys, Blockchain Bernie here with my latest episode 396. We're approaching episode 400, and this one is about Xandeum's multi-chain edge, which is tightly coupled with the blockchain storage trilemma. So when you watch this video all the way to the end, you walk away and understand why Xandeum has that multi-chain edge, why it can be the storage layer for so many different chains, and we'll dive into that detail, why we start on Solana, why Xandeum does all the other storage stuff on other chains, and we will give you a little bit of insight what we will be showing on that blockchain conference named Rare Evo here in Las Vegas, which is starting basically today. So this is pre-recorded because of that. When you watch this, I'm at the trade show, Rare Evo. All right, let's dive right into it. With the the audio might not be good. I hope it is. So with the storage trilemma, and let me show you that. It's actually right here, right? So we have that blockchain storage trilemma here. So as I move my mouse here, it's wiggling a little bit, so that's cool. And it's, one of it is scalable to exabytes. Why does it need to be scalable to exabytes? If we want Web3 mass adopted, it needs to be scalable, right? It's as simple as that. Blockchain and cryptocurrencies will only have value if everyone accepts them. It's the same as with real money. It has value because everyone accepts it, right? Microsoft Word has value because everyone's using it, right? You send them a doc file or a docx and they can open it, and it's called a network effect, right? So we need that. It needs to be scalable. Otherwise, if we at one point get all that adoption that we're all hoping for, it wouldn't be possible, right? So it needs to be scalable to exabytes, and it needs to be smart contract native. So smart contract native, what does that mean? Smart contract native means that we want this storage layer, the Xandeum storage layer, to be easily accessible from smart contracts and basically to super integrated. And why is that so important? Because smart contracts are like the software of the blockchain. And right now they can access storage in accounts, right? Solana has Solana accounts, Ethereum has Ethereum accounts, and so on. But these accounts live on each and every of the validators of that specific blockchain. And that means they don't scale, right? So, but we want them smart contract native and scalable, right? There are so many distributed storage chains out there that can scale to exabytes, but they are not smart contract native, right? So that means we cannot write real Web3 programs because the two worlds are separated, right? So that is the two things, and the third one is random access, right? So that's down here. So why do we need random access? We need random access because we want to write a lot of different Web3 apps. We want to have something that is the foundation for a whole Cambrian explosion of different Web3 apps. We want to do all those good things with the blockchain, and that only works if we have random access, right? It's a different thing to have storage for archival. You just store it once and then it's there, right? It's basically like Arweave. They have their place, but they're for archival. That's why they start with AR, right? Arweave. And then we have IPFS and stuff. You can't make changes to an IPFS file. It will be a new file, right? And there are so many other things that are distributed storage, but storage in the sense of, yeah, it's stored there, and you might be getting it back at some point in time, but you can't really make changes and operate with it. And for all the Web 2 apps, the successful Web 2 apps that we have, they all have that. They all have that random access. They have huge disks on their servers that they can access, and they can manipulate your data, right? They can work with data. and overwrite things in the middle and do databases and all these types of things, right? So that's the blockchain storage trilemma. And guys, I'm telling you, that I don't know of any other project other than Xandeum that is even trying to solve that trilemma. And it's different from the blockchain trilemma, right? There's that blockchain trilemma that Vitalik Buterin came up with a long time ago. That's different, right? We're talking about the blockchain storage trilemma, right? And the blockchain storage trilemma is about these three things that I just mentioned. And these are not Solana specific. So you might have heard of Xandeum for a long time, building that storage layer on the Solana blockchain first, and that Munich release, big Munich release, which has already launched when you watch this video. That is a big milestone, right? We're live on Xandeum's DevNet. We have like 30 different validators on the Xandeum DevNet, and we have 300 pNodes that are live, and we will be selling, by the way, 49 more pNodes really soon. And that looks like that will be happening in a Dutch auction, and here it is. So here's how the Dutch auction looks like, and you will be able to earn a lot of NFTs here, and those NFTs will give you earnings boosts on that storage income. That's coming later here, right? So with that said, we're talking about the multi-chain edge, right? That was my big promise that I made in the beginning of this video, that you will walk away and understanding Xandeum's multi-chain edge. And before I dive into that right now, I would just like to remind you of a little favor that I'm asking from you. I hope it's not too much. Just hit that like button here and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And most importantly, leave me a comment so that I can discuss with you what's going on here at Xandeum and beyond in the blockchain world, right? Okay, so with the multi-chain edge, that means all the data, right? We're integrating into a blockchain, and we've done that with Solana right now, right? So we have made modifications to the Solana validator code so that the transactions that are storage enabled, and you can think of the storage layer as a second tier of accounts, right? Every smart contract developer has access to these accounts, but they don't scale with regards to storage capacity. So they can now use that second tier of accounts, which is the Xandeum storage layer, right? And all the transactions, those are normal transactions on the blockchain. Can you believe it? That's very different from all the other like distributed or decentralized storage projects that are out there. Ours is really part of these smart contracts and you know, the Solana developer, people that build Solana apps, they can just continue building these apps, and they can just use our additional storage primitives. And then these get forwarded to the Xandeum storage layer, which consists of all these pNodes, the provider nodes, right? So we have that network of currently 300, it will be 350 soon, and it'll grow to thousands and tens of thousands of pNodes. And maybe one day, if the demand for storage materializes as we expect it to be, there might be hundreds of thousands or even millions of pNodes all over the world someday. So we started with 300. I'm very thankful for everyone that is running a pNode here. And we made it super simple, by the way, to run a pNode. But that pNode network is kind of self-contained, right? It contains all the data. All the data is stored on these pNodes, and it's not a blockchain, right? Because we don't have a ledger, right? We don't track each and every transaction somehow. We always have the latest state, but it can be proven with Merkle proofs. It can be logged to underlying blockchains like Solana. So we can use Solana or Ethereum or Cardano or whatever chain we choose as our trust anchor, right? So we can send periodic Merkle proofs to these blockchains so that we use them as a trust anchor, right? So that you don't have to trust like only the pNodes, but the pNodes also have a consensus, and the pNodes have staking, and they have all of that stuff, but they don't have the overhead of a ledger, right? There's no ledger in there. That makes them more efficient, and that makes them scalable, right? And they can be supervised by the validators of the underlying blockchain. Like, they can be supervised by the Solana validators or by any other blockchain. So we're going to be exhibiting this week, right now, at Rare Evo here in Las Vegas. It's a multi-chain blockchain conference, right? Many chains will be there. Solana will be there. Cardano will be there. And Algorand will be there, and Polkadot will be there. So a bunch of other chains, right? That's a big opportunity for Xandeum to show that we can run on any blockchain, that we're multi-chain. And, right now the plan is to launch first on Solana, and the Munich release now is launched on Solana first. But that's just a prototype. It's not even an MVP. It's a working prototype, right? That's what the Munich release was always planned to be. But we're moving fast, right? So we were polishing the Munich release for a long time. But it is there now. So that's great. And with that Munich release coming, the dev team behind the scenes has already worked on the Herrenberg release, right? So the Herrenberg release will be out really soon, immediately after the Munich release, and it has cool features. The pNodes will all get an RPC interface, so we can query all those pNodes about their performance and their versions and stuff like that. So it will be possible to write like an analytics website that shows all the pNodes with their history and their versions and their performance and all that kind of stuff. So that will be super exciting. And we don't want to write those analytics platforms ourselves. We just leave that to the community, because we have a super engaged community. You guys are our community, and you're building stuff every day or even right now. So I'm super excited about that. So that is super cool. And that's the multi-chain edge, because the network is a network of its own, but it's not its own blockchain. It doesn't have a ledger, but we can trust anchor into the ledger of underlying blockchains. And then for each other blockchain that we launch on, we just have to trust anchor to them, and we just have to link into their RPC code, so that the developers that build native apps on each of these blockchains can actually access the Xandeum storage layer. And then that is only one storage layer that can be accessed from many different blockchains. And I think the opportunity is just phenomenal here, right? Think about even Filecoin already has a lot of data that is stored in there, even though it's not readily accessible from smart contracts from other chains. They, like 1 or 2 years ago, they built their own EVM on top of Filecoin, and then that is only accessible within the Filecoin ecosystem, right? And then you need to bridge it over if you go to other chains and all these kind of things, right? It makes so much friction for adoption, and we want it to be easy for you, the app developers, to just build apps natively in each of these blockchains as you've done before, but access the Xandeum storage layer just as a second tier of accounts. And we think that is awesome and revolutionary. So we can't wait to hear your feedback of the Munich release. We're going to be demoing the Munich release live at Rare Evo in Las Vegas at the Caesars Palace. So if you can make it to Las Vegas, let us know. We can meet up there. We even have a party at one night there, which is awesome. And I think it's on Friday night, right? And tomorrow night. So when you watch this, and that's the multi-chain edge. I really love that. I love that Munich is out now. We have Herrenberg. I love the the Dutch auction is coming up, right? So this is the Dutch auction here. There are 49 more pNodes here to be purchased. The price starts relatively high and then goes down each and every hour. It's a 48-hour, and this is just a simulation here, right? This is not live, right? But you can see here, depending on which hour you buy, you know, the price gets lower and lower, but you have the risk that they might all be gone because there's only 49, right? So if you wait too long, there might not be any left, right? And yeah, we have these nice NFTs here. When you get them in your wallet, they will even be nicer, right? This is just a thumbnail preview here, but they are beautifully managed, and you know, they have that animation just inside. So only the animal in the middle will you know, slowly rotate here. This one, we've made it in the 1 second frame, the same as this here. And when you turn on the music here, and I love that music. So I'll turn over the mic here to the music. And you hear that click, click, click in the background, right? So that clicks the seconds here, and the seconds go all in sync, right? On this one here, on the countdown timer, as well as these rotating NFTs. Yeah, so I love that. And yeah, you can purchase any number of pNodes and you will get all these NFTs, and all the NFTs will give you boosts in the storage income, right? So once the whole thing goes live, you will get storage income from all those apps that that pay for storage, and they pay in their native currency, right? So for the Xandeum storage layer deployed on Solana, it's going to be paid in Sol. If we go live on Cardano, it's going to be paid for in ADA, right? And all these other native currencies here. And you see there are boost factors of 11 if you get a Titan NFT. But for that, you'd have to buy in the first 2 hours, in hour 0 or in hour 1, right? At these prices here, right? And then if you wait longer, you still get the Dragon NFT with 4 of these, with the boost factor of 4, right? And if you wait even longer, then it goes down to the Coyote NFT, which gives you 2.5, and then the Rabbit NFT 1.5, the Cricket NFT, which is not quite a real ticket because it still gives you a 10% rewards boost for all the life through all these eras that we have until the end of the North era and maybe beyond even. So 10% boost. And if you wait until the 48th hour, then you will get them very cheap if any are left, right? But you will get none of these NFTs here. So that's how the Dutch auction works. I'm quite excited to do that. It's going to start on September 6th, right? Or September 9th? September 6th. So it's going to start on September 6th. So be prepped. You need both USDC and XAND in your wallet in order to pay for these pNodes if you want any. I think it's going to be really, really coveted. There are so many people that already have some that want more, but there are also so many that missed the original pNode sale, and they will now be able to purchase some in the upcoming Dutch auction. So I'm super excited how that goes. I'm super excited to be able to welcome more pNode operators on Xandeum. And yeah, that was my promise, the multi-chain edge. And we're doing multi-chain, and we're, you know, obviously with exhibiting at Rare Evo, it's going to be exciting for us to see how other chains react to that, right? Because sometimes I feel like Solana is the best chain for us because it is the most scalable chain, but they are busy. They are busy with meme coins, honestly, right? So, and we see that with listing our tokens and stuff. It's like 99.997 of all tokens on Solana are meme coins, right? And if you're not a meme coin, you need to explain. And, you know, there's that rug check platform that only understands meme coins. And it's like a crazy thing, right? And if you say you're on Solana, then everyone thinks you're a meme coin and stuff like that. It's tough right now on Solana, right? So let's see what the other chains are saying. And if they like us more and are willing to support us in a meaningful way, then we might just, deploy first on some other, when we go to on mainnet or so. We might even do it on another chain if they want us, and if it's like a thing where a mutual desire, right? With Solana, it doesn't seem to be a mutual desire at this point in time, right? They are busy with other stuff. So let's see how it goes. With Cardano, we're also part of a side event. And maybe I'll get some one-on-one time with Charles Hoskinson. Even I've heard he's visiting each and every booth each and every year. So he might come to our booth. It's a 10 by 20 foot booth, by the way, so it's not a small thing. And it's only one of like maybe 20 to 30 booths, so it's a relatively intimate event there. So we will be able to have a lot of one-on-one discussions. Is not as a mass type of thing as the Solana conferences are. So let's see how that goes. It's going to be a new experience for us. Wish us luck. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Catch you later. Peace.